Hello there and welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Kristen Nolan and I have designed this Fit for Success podcast. Welcome to episode 2. Today I am so excited because I have an amazing guest for you. For those of you who don't know me, I'm also known as the High Performance Health Mentor. And I created this Fit for Success podcast to show you how to keep your body healthy and energized on a limited time budget. And with each podcast, I'm interviewing different men and women who own very successful companies and who are making the effort to keep their bodies healthy and energized so that they can stay at the top of their mental and their physical game. And today, like I said, I have an amazing guest for you. And excuse me while I look down because I'm going to be reading her bio to you. It is extensive and incredible. Karla Silver is going to be on our show today. She is a powerhouse entrepreneur, a coach, a speaker, and an award-winning best-selling author and internet marketer. After being downsized, she reinvented herself by taking her skills and applying them to building businesses online. And today, she's a leader in the in-home business marketing profession for over 12 years. She's been a top earner in 4 different companies, has built organizations in the tens of thousands, and has personally enrolled thousands of individuals into her business without ever attending a meeting or approaching her family or friends. Sounds incredible. Karla has become one of the most impactful speakers at network marketing events around the world, teaching others how to create the same results in their own businesses. She is also the founder of the Top Producer Academy and the Zero to Hero online marketing mastermind, which are focused on helping successful but frustrated network marketers automate their businesses online so that they have a business and a life that they love. Karla and her husband, her amazing husband, Don, have lived all over the world in the past 10 years, serving an example to other entrepreneurs that you can be, do, or have anything you want if you make the decision to just go for it. Whoa, drum roll, please. I'm about to bring her on right now. Woo! We've got Karla Silver in the house.
Hey, woman. How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
I am awesome. Thank you so much for that introduction. It makes me blush. Oh my gosh. Like, who is that?
Oh my God. That's a powerhouse woman, baby.
A powerhouse woman. I am talking to another powerhouse woman. I love it.
You know it. Mwah. Welcome to the gun show. No, I'm kidding. I'm so excited to have you here. And I'd love for our audience to learn a little bit more about you. So can you tell our audience about your background and the work that you're currently doing to kick off this new year?
Yeah, I mean, my story is probably not too different than so many other entrepreneurs nowadays. I worked for a long time in corporate America. I was taught grow up, go to school, get a job, that whole thing. And I did that. And I worked my way up for many years up the corporate ladder. And I thought I had that perfect life. I had a big old house in Newport Beach, California, a big expense account, a cushy job. Well, not so cushy, but a high level job. The corner office, I had all the trappings. And in 2001, I found myself in the internet industry. And if you remember, it was a long time ago now, but if you remember, the dot-com industry blew up completely. And at the exact same time, so did my entire life. I got downsized. My husband downsized me. I lost everything, and I lost my mojo, really. As anyone that's been downsized, it's just not fun. It's a big blow to your ego. And I joke around because I say, like any self-respecting woman, I went to bed for a year. And I really just hibernated. And I needed to figure out what the heck I wanted to do with myself. And I realized that I never wanted to do that again, ever, like Taylor Swift, ever. And so, So I knew that I didn't want to do that again because I was rebooting my life, and I knew I had an opportunity not to sacrifice my life again for a job, but I also didn't know what the hell I wanted to do. Like, what do you do? Like, how do you start all over in every aspect of your life? And one of the things that I'm really happy about it, this looking back, there weren't any jobs in the internet industry for years. And so it was good because I would never have been able to be sitting here with you on your podcast at this point. So I found the network marketing industry, the direct sales industry, and I got started then. And I have never looked back. I mean, it hasn't been perfect road, of course. I've had my ups and downs like any entrepreneur has, but I've been able to design, and that's really the word that works for me, design my life in a way where I've been able to live a pretty damn good life. And again, I'm not going to paint a picture that like, oh, suddenly millions of dollars appeared in my bank account. But I was able to learn a couple of things along the way. I had many, many adventures all over the world. And I learned what I think personally is the most important skill for any entrepreneur. And that is how to use and leverage the internet to create leads and sales for your business. And I'm totally grateful that I was forced to do that. It wasn't pretty. Yeah. But I am very, very grateful and very humbled to be able to serve so many people at this point.
Oh my God. Okay. So first of all, I want you to just backtrack a little bit because I love what you have built for your business and your life, and exactly what you said, how you've designed it to really fit your needs and serve you and your husband at the highest level. And last week, you and I were talking, and your husband were talking, and you were telling me about your amazing adventures, how you were living all over the world and growing your business at the same time. So I would love you to talk a little bit more about that journey, because I know for so many network marketers, that is the dream. So talk about that process. You were talking about how you a lot of things, but how you gained so much more knowledge, even traveling just around the world. Talk about that experience.
You know, it's interesting, and it's not even just network marketers, entrepreneurs, anyone now. It's that idea of being able to either take a what does Timothy Ferriss calls it, a mini retirement for a few months and go somewhere and live somewhere, or right, like we did, take the show on the road, so to speak. And here's how it happened for us. I was on a plane to Sydney, Australia, and I picked up a book that turned out to be many, many years on the bestseller list, called The 4-Hour Workweek. And I read that book on the way to Australia, and Tim Ferriss is the author of that book. And a light bulb went on that I thought, wait, I don't have to live in this house. I don't have to drive that car. I actually could, and that's where that idea of designing a life came from. I could start at the end, from where I wanted my life to look like, and back into what I had to do to get there. And he espouses this idea of mini retirements, and he encourages people to go for months. Well, we just decided just to go. And so we downsized quite a bit and got rid of everything that we had, except for in the United States, we had a car packed, like nothing else would fit in any other corner. And so if we needed to buy anything, something else had to go out. And it's the same with when we were living other places in our luggage. And we took the show on the road, and we've lived in Lake Tahoe was our first stop, and we thought we'd ski every day. And we were there for like a month and moved to Spain. And we lived in it was just
really the dream.
That dream we didn't want. I love Lake Tahoe, but for some reason we felt like we were stuck in the house, and that's not true. And the same thing is true if you're in a hot climate, but that's how we felt. So we moved to Spain, and we lived in Spain, France, Italy, Northern California, Southern California, Hawaii, Acapulco, Bahamas, Mexico, other parts of Mexico, France. So we moved back to the States a few years ago, and because of business reasons, it was just more convenient to be here. And we were kind of homesick a little, and we've kind of stayed put now for 4 years. We've lived in the same house. So I have a itch, and we're planning another trip. We're not planning to go that extensively on the road again, but here's the deal. This is why this story is important to some people. You can do what you want to do. I want to be so clear that if you have a dream, as far as I know, and this is my feeling, as far as I know, I only have one life, and I better make that the best life I possibly can. And so that was something we wanted to do, and we did it.
Oh my God. I pretty much, now that I've gotten to know you over the past months, understand that whatever you want to happen, you make happen. It's kind of magical. Whatever you put your mind to works, because you won't stop until it does. You have amazing tenacity.
Well, you know what? I don't think it's so amazing, and thank you. I appreciate that, but I want to tell anyone that's watching this webcast that anyone can do that. I can't be an astronaut. I'm quite sure that if I put my mind to that, I wouldn't be able to become an astronaut.
I don't know. I wouldn't be so sure about that.
But I think that it's just finding out a couple things, and these are old ideas, right? Is deciding what you want. Mm-hmm. And then if you don't know how to do it or get it or be it, you find somebody else that's already done it, got it, or is it. Mm-hmm. I think my English is messed up there. And then you find them, and either you watch what they do and just do exactly what they do, or you get them, or you enable the relationship in some fashion, whether you hire them as a coach or you follow them as a mentor. There's all variations of that theme, and you just do what they tell you to do. There is a formula to everything, and I always believe it's all about finding the right person at the right time, and then the hard part for most people is getting to work.
Absolutely. Me. Yeah. All of us, but that's why we have mentors, right? To hold us accountable to the process. So actually, on that note, Karla, I know that you are launching something really special for the new year where people can actually hire you as their mentor to hold them accountable. Can you talk a little bit about what you're launching and what people are going to get out of it?
Sure. I have been, and just crazy, weird coincidence, in my business, I have built my business entirely by generating leads and sales online. That's all I've ever known. There's a whole other side of the network marketing, direct sales industry that builds offline. I've just never done that. And over the past, basically since 2008, when the economy really tanked and the internet really got easy to use, I mean, it's super easy now, I found wonderful, talented, wise, experienced, able, enthusiastic people transitioning into entrepreneurship that really didn't even have the basic foundations of how the internet worked and how easy it is to make a name for yourself and put your best foot forward online and generate leads and sales for themselves. So I found myself teaching it all the time. And so about 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, I decided this is crazy. I'm going to put a course together, and I spent some time making sure that I have the best course available. And that course is now out, called the Top Producer Academy. And I work with my students to help them transition into online entrepreneurship. It is so much fun, and it's a very comprehensive course. And I'm just excited to be able to offer that to people that are serious about building their business and want to generate the skills so that they have the time and flexibility and money that entrepreneurship promises, right? We become entrepreneurs in the first place because we want to spend the most time we possibly can with the people we love most in our lives. And for most people, entrepreneurship ends up being this crazy, the hamster wheel that you just can't get off, and you're working all of the time. And the beauty of learning just the basic skills of how to navigate around the internet and attract the perfect people to you and your business is is that promised land. Honestly, it's the best skill I've ever learned.
Yeah, obviously that's really set you free.
It has. That's a perfect way to put it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I see that. Well, that's really special what you're about to teach them. Oh my God, I'm excited for this launch. So, and I want to switch gears just a little bit, Karla, because I know that another big transition you made and why I really wanted to have you on this show is, you and I have been working together for about almost maybe, I think it's been about 4 or 5 months at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a big transition you had to make, and you have really mastered the area of online marketing and business and getting leads and getting clients and having your business work for you. And one big transition that you made last year was to prioritize yourself and your health. So what I'd love you to do now is kind of take us a little bit through that journey. So now that you've created the freedom in your business, what kind of made you decide that now was the right time to start prioritizing your health and your body?
Well, a bunch of things happened. First of all, I already knew that I was working too hard. My life was lopsided, and I knew that. And so I knew that had happened. That was going on for way too long. I also knew that I felt like a toxic dump. Honestly, I just felt it. Here's the very scientific word: yucky all the time. I knew that my body wasn't working properly. In my family, my husband, we've had a big health scare this year, and I don't think I needed that, but it surely brought the importance of really taking care of ourselves so that we can live these long, beautiful, by design lives. And I knew that I needed to make some changes, and I knew that I needed to make them quickly. And the biggest thing for me is, besides feeling crappy almost all the time, and it was all the time, whether I was really feeling like I was taking care of myself or not. But what I really realized is I needed the energy. I needed the ability to have energy at the end of the day. And I don't care if you're an entrepreneur. I mean, I'm not running around like most people, right? You can be a mom or have a family, or what I used to do in a regular job, and you're running around all the time, and you're using brain power. So I just still felt that no matter what, I didn't have enough energy, so that I wasn't giving my best to my business, and I wasn't giving the best to myself, and I wasn't giving the best to my husband. So I knew I had to make a change. For a while, I didn't know exactly what form it was going to take, but it got to a point where I was just like, okay, that's it. I have to change something because I won't be able to continue.
Right. Okay. And that's huge. Yeah, that's huge, because it doesn't matter what you've built. If you don't have the health and the energy to enjoy that, then you're just kind of going through the motions, and it doesn't really matter anymore.
Exactly. And I just knew that it was the right time, and you were the right person.
Oh, thank you.
I had seen so many amazing results. I didn't even know you that well, but I had seen some of the results that were created before we really started working together. I saw some of the results that you had created, and I went up to those people and said, "What have you done? What were you doing?" And so I researched you, girlfriend. I researched you ahead of time, and by the time we first connected, I just was waiting for you to figure out we could begin, honestly.
Oh, thank you.
Here's the thing. Here's what you bring to the table, right? You help essentially, I don't want to say high-powered women, because I don't necessarily, and men, of course, I don't necessarily lump myself in that, but you help people just like me that are busy entrepreneurs or corporate America or wherever you are in the world, make a next big move in their lives, which is their health and their nutrition and fitness. So I have a ways to go, but I am well on my way and excited to see what happens next.
Yeah, no, you really are. In fact, I've been constantly impressed by you. Impressed. Does that make sense? I don't even know. But you
Well,
constantly impress
I
me
could
every
trust you.
yeah, no, every time. And I think, the amazing thing to me about you is that you are so used to having your business be, your everything, right? I mean, you have just built it, you've been a maniac at it. And I feel like that whole transition period to reprioritizing yourself and your needs, that's not easy for a lot of people to do. And that's why they don't do it. But you did it. I would love you to talk a little bit about how you sort of flipped the switch, into prioritizing yourself. Like, what was the process like for you? And I know that, it's not always perfect all the time, especially in the first few months that we're trying to do this. But how did you kind of start reprioritizing your day to integrate self-care? And how did you start scheduling in maybe meals on your calendar? What were some of those steps that you took to really put you at the forefront?
Well, you're right. It wasn't beautiful in the beginning because developing new ways of doing things and new habits. And now I have even more appreciation for all of the individuals that are stepping out and becoming entrepreneurs because I'm always like, well, you just do this. And if you just do this formula, you will have the same results that I have, but it isn't that easy to incorporate. I have such new respect because I've now been an entrepreneur for a long time. I sort of forgot that part. I talk about habits,
Right.
but I really needed to change some habits for myself. And so that was as any new habit is developed, it was done in fits and starts. The lucky thing for me is that I had you as to report to, so to speak, on a consistent basis. Well, no, that's the whole point of getting a
Yeah,
coach or a mentor, right? Is to
it
have
is. Yeah.
somebody course correct you along the way, help you avoid potholes, help you to climb that mountain, right? So I had
Hmm.
you, but what worked for me was scheduling. Simply because, and I'm sure this is true for any busy person, but if I have something on my schedule as a commitment that I've made, and it's less likely for me to say, "Oh, I don't need to do that. I need to make another phone call, or
Yeah.
I need to write this email, or I need to follow up with that person." If I have something structured, I'm more likely to follow through with it, and then it's about, and again, I'm not perfect, I'm not quite there yet. Then it's about developing that when you do that for long enough, you've developed a habit. And then you don't
Hmm.
have to remind yourself, right? I don't ever have to
Right.
remind myself to do my follow-up calls or emails. I never had to remind myself to do that because that's just something I do.
Right.
And I'm in the process of getting there within my health and fitness category of my life. Thanks to
Yeah.
you.
Oh, thank you so much for all that. I appreciate it. Yeah, and I think the big thing for you was really taking the skill sets that you had developed through creating such an incredible business platform and transferring them to your body. So things like the scheduling of appointments, things like the habits you have to engage in every day are so relevant to you and what makes you successful, right? Because that's how your mind works.
Yeah,
You
I just
make
don't ever not do it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're incredibly good with follow through. So actually on that note, can you talk a little bit about some of the things that you have integrated into your calendar that help you prioritize yourself, whether that's, daily walking or whatever it happens to be. Would love to know.
Well, for me, I've actually declared this entire year. I don't know if I told you this. I know I said month before, but I have this entire year. I have two things for me to do. One is this year is devoted to self-care on a personal note. And then on a professional note, it's getting out there and helping other entrepreneurs get out there and establish a name for themselves. So, on the self-care point, Um, I have I have a ritual that I go through in the morning that includes some very short, really short, because especially if I'm excited about getting to work or I'm working on a project, I have to keep things, especially in the morning, because I'm always ready to dive into
Yeah.
my day. And so I have a really short meditation. I have certain things that I read to myself in the morning. I have a quiet time right after I get up. I don't jump out of bed. I love that first. I actually go get myself a cup of coffee, come back to bed, and do my thing. And then I have scheduled workouts. And then the hardest thing for me this is sound really strange, was actually eating enough times every day. That was the hardest, and I'm still working on that. I have to totally admit. I think the last time I ate at 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock on Wednesday, and then I didn't eat till Thursday. That was simply because I know I probably just gave you a heart attack.
A little bit.
Head explode.
Yeah.
Can't you follow directions? I was working on a project. I had to get stuff done, and I looked up and it was 8 o'clock or something, and I still was doing it. So I'm like, but that doesn't happen normally. I'm really focused, and luckily I have this very supportive husband, and we both work from home. Is to get that steady every 3 to 4 hours of eating something balanced. And so that's been the hardest part for me, but it will sort itself out as we move forward.
Yeah, and as you continue focusing, and I believe that that's usually the hardest part for everybody, just so you know, because it's something that you have to do so often, you know, you have to do it 5-6 times a day, multiple times. It obviously, like, there's a little bit more of a learning curve involved when you have to do something more often. So
I mean, but really, why would anybody object to eating?
To eating more? I know. People are like, what? I get to eat more?
More to eat. And still I lose weight.
Well, you have a nice, strong metabolism. We want to keep it nice and strong. So yes, you have to keep eating more.
Because when we started, my metabolism had flatlined. So
yeah, it's a little on the low side. Yeah, and now it's much higher. So I love that.
That carrot is dead.
What? Oh my God. So tell me this, because I know you're all about seeing results in your business. I would love you to make a case for our audience, help them understand how having more energy and feeling better has helped you be a better leader and a better performer in your business.
Okay. So this one is really easy, and I just figured this out right now. Healthy eating and moving and metabolism and body equals more energy, more brain clarity, which allows you to be, firstly, enthusiastic about life, right? And being able to be there and serve your customers or your clients or whatever you have, or your family, in a way that is way more optimum for them and you, and therefore everything. You make more positive impressions. You make more. You do more in your day. You achieve more because you're happier and you feel better. Everybody else around you is happier and feels better. And in the end, you make more money. And that creates another great cycle because everybody is happier. And I know that money isn't everything, and it isn't, the be all end all, but it sure solves a lot of problems.
Amen, sister. Amen, girl. Yes, I love all that. I feel like you instantly become magnetic when you exude powerful energy. And you're right, you start attracting the right people in your direction because people want that. They want to be you, right? When you're their mentor, they're working to being more